had his works published in the university magazine. When he first came to the inspired word, he just mesmerized folks with his style of poetry. He was invited to join Nicole Acosta's Epic 12, right? I love him because his last name is a letter just like mine, right? And he's got superhero features.
Yes, beautiful.
Well, I wasn't gonna say he was beautiful, but you put that out there. No, coming from me would sound a little strange. Yeah, but it was like a young Clark Kent, right? Or Superboy. He's a superhero. He's one of our favorite poets. He's about to come up here and do his thing. So what I need you to do, start picking up the energy as we welcome to the mic, Dean K.
I'm going to begin with a little confession in haiku. This is titled, I Did Something Really Horrible Last Night. That fucking Nickelback song came on the radio, and I didn't turn it off. Thank you all for being here, please. You guys, not them who listen. You guys are the reason why live art hasn't been suffocated by Nickelback yet. So is Mike, so is Marvin, so is everyone here. So this first poem is called I Am Afraid. I am afraid of the wild world of nighttime in the summer, of not being early or late enough, of being too much of either or neither, or of just being there as the fire engine pulls out and watching it roll past, or scraping the divider on the highway, looking out my side view, of not writing it all down before I find you, of lying beside you, and not knowing what to say. This is a potential love poem. It's called Won't You? Won't you be my beef and barley love, Barbie doll, baby girl, a balanced meal? Won't you come over, cuddle and cook with me? I've got something to show you. I drew a picture of your mother the other day, and no, I haven't met her yet, and no, I haven't met you yet, but we can meet somewhere in the middle, I think, and make it work in retrospect, and keep the rest of the time like retrograde. Won't you be my prophet, love, and tell me what the future's about, but put you in it, like a user account, with all your information. Works at my heart like the chief surgeon, but never needs to work to look beautiful, went to school to learn how to make money. But if she's my cuddle buddy, she never ever needs to study. Born in a town too far away, so I never knew her in the sandbox on the playground. Interested in who cares, she's interesting and in a relationship. Hide it, please. Hide it, because no one knows where that leads. Won't you diversify your bonds a little bit and spend a night sharing a pillow, a blanket, and some oxygen with me? Won't you be my nonprofit, my expense account? Let me spend all of you and expend all of me, and tax-free with benefits. Healthcare, dental, won't you be my dentist and take care of my oral fixation? Won't you be my general practitioner, personal trainer, psychotherapist, my everything? I've not got insurance, but I can talk my way out of almost anything. Let me talk my way into something and handle my own once I'm in there. Won't you be my personal photographer? Won't you fit on me like swimwear or a bespoke suit or a V-neck? Won't you leave hickeys all over me, but only ever an inch or two away from the border so they won't peek through my shirts? Won't you learn where the border is on every t-shirt on my chest as measured against yours? From sleeping in them, when you do sleep in a shirt, won't you read to me when I'm hurt from shitty pop psychology books? And bring me soup from Panera and find something to watch on the TV and fall asleep watching it because we don't care about it? Won't you let me wake you up with kisses? Won't you wait until I do the dishes before making yourself a midnight snack? Won't you come back if you come over once, honey bun? Won't you be dessert? Won't you be the seventh course at the banquet, the sweet scent under my blanket, the present for which I'm thankful, with sunshine in your ankles, and the stars in your hair, and the moon in your breath, whispering, good morning. This is a little bit different. Please excuse my French in the title. All ears on Rue de Bonhomme. This one was a barber who cut hair for free, only he bent down over your shoulder, got real close, and took a whiff. And then, maybe you got a second appointment. His wife was a real hoot. Around town and back with a wicked pocketbook filled to the brim with protection in any color you wanted. Swore she could see the future, that one, and the sun was such a card. Adieu, adieu, a wake-up call, and the birds were in for tonight. But then how could he punch in without his gallon of coffee? Then there was that hag, she went by Sally McPhee, the devil's best friend, and her husband was the attorney, all in apartment C3. Did she know any other words, we wondered? Meanwhile, he sat with a shotgun pressed against his temple at every instant, and what flair, mon Dieu, old man Romanovich, who stepped down to Leo's for lunch every Monday for the same egg sandwich. That one over there, he was a banker. Had his suit pressed twice per month and king walk on speed dial to boot, but my, the cleft of his chin, his daughter, she was quite the heartbreaker with a wicked case of ennui. He bought the 32 last week, you know, and his brother-in-law is the doctor. Rumor had it he had his hair cut twice by Monsieur Gris, and didn't like the side part. He burnt the bridge and called it a day. Stopped taking that government insurance, didn't he? This next poem, this is called The Strip, and it's nothing sexual. This is about a place in Astoria Park. It's called The Strip, it's right by the water. It's my favorite place in the world, really. The Strip. There is a man of about 60 quitting smoking under Hell's Gate Bridge. I'm running by and have to stop and watch him. He has 2 packs of Marlboro Lights in one hand, and with the other he pulls them out 1 cigarette at a time and drops them to the floor. The whole operation is seamless, effortless. He needs no audience and no one's offering it to him. The people walking by, running by, biking by aren't stopping to watch the way I am. To be free is to have the ability to get up and go without even a moment's notice, not even for yourself. Along the strip, beyond the boundary, little waves crash in slowly like a million pieces of green glass mingling with the rocks, pebbles, like a million broken Heineken bottles. An elderly couple sitting on the railing the way I have since I was 13. If the wind were any stronger, it would blow them both into the East River, and I don't think either of them would mind very much. It is important in poems and in life to not overdose on the big words, expensive words. I'm not talking about long words, though they can be big too. But short words, 4-letter words, love, soul, moon, hate, fuck. The Japanese sages had a practice of using these words only once every 1,000 poems. This is the conversation I had yesterday on the way to Prospect Park. I think of it today running in Astoria Park. What words do I use to describe something when the words I want are all too powerful? What will I do when I've used them all up and some accidental miracle is looking at me and wants to be celebrated, and I have to respond in profanities, in SAT words, and cliched quotations from movies and books and TV shows, some of which I've read and watched, but most of which I haven't. Poetry in motion, that's what sparked the conversation. They've recently reinstalled poems in train cars and subway stations looking to disseminate culture to their patrons or to somehow make some money, probably. But they're keeping the poems underground at worst and only slightly elevated at best. I'm trying as hard as I can to fly these poems to the moon and back, pinning stanzas on the backs of racehorses, sending couplets to friends via pigeon post. Poetry is in motion, and has been, and will be, but behind glass, on the 7 train, etched over in graffiti, no one is reading you, Billy Collins. That's a stagnant. Poetry needs to run, fly, swim, jump, breathe. That's why when I'm running, what comes after is not the poem, the run is the poetry. The things I see all rhyme with one another, the bodies work to form a perfect meter, my breath sets a tempo. I run past the man again on a second lap, the one who is quitting smoking. He's leaning on the railing looking out at Randall's Island. Billy Joel's voice is leaking out of the open window of a red Jeep. I see 2 empty packs and 39 pristine cigarettes on the floor. and one old man enjoying the last few drags he'll ever have in his life. That's willpower. To not stop and request that a statue be put up in his honor immediately, to not chisel a sonnet into the broad wall of the bridge, but instead to let him enjoy this victory by himself. I look for the old couple on the railing and find that they've left, or maybe they fell into the water. This is another potential love poem. This is the title poem. This is a little series I'm doing with potential love poems. This is the title poem. Don't worry about it. So, potential love poems. I don't want to argue with you about which metaphors out of Keats we need to put into vows, darling. I have trouble memorizing my lines, but couldn't, if I tried, forget an inch of your thighs. Convex mirrors reflecting your magic and me. Me still at it, working at the password, trying to remember how to get inside. It changes every 3 months and you can't use previous configurations, so I'm wondering how many times you must have spelt love backwards or wrong and what's next in rotation, conjuring my own metaphors. Because I'll never, ever, ever recycle what's in an anthology to get into your body, so no, you won't be my bright star. No nightingale will sing at you. I won't compare you to a summer's day, because baby, thine temperature is more like the subway. The air around you heavier and denser and progressively stickier as the minutes pass by, pass by, pass by. I'm waiting for you to arrive. To take me home, to end my fits of people watching. I want people watching us to feel hot and bothered when we're just having a conversation. There's nothing sexier than the way you pronounce your S's and short I's and long E's, and I just want to live in between your lips every time they're open. So crack them open like the can of worms we both know they are, and don't ask me to read to you from books I've read 1,000,000 times. I'll speak volumes to you, but only if you'll listen. Let's write potential love poems together, to each other, move away and mail them to blank addresses, hoping that by some miracle we hit our marks. How am I doing on time? Somebody?
You're doing fine.
Like 5 minutes or so?
Yeah.